big I wanna bleed and cry it! God damn!
Closes a door, I blow it the up! Hey, make sure to get a slag weapon on the way. Smack the jabber nest to wake him up. Alright, now slag the jabber. Kill it before the slag wears off. I want the monster full of poison because poison is spicy and spicy food is like an explosion before your mouth.
If I hit you, you're gonna feel it.
Woo! You got all the glands. Now pop them into the gobbler's dinner and you'll be ready to fight them. Why do you insist on being a moron, Torque? This is why you lost a controlling share of your own company. Now add the poison glands to the marination vat. Hit that button to marinate the out of that meal. The meal's almost ready. Let's get cooking. Start the conveyor of cookery. That's it. You've gone off script one too many times, Torgue. Today's meal is canceled. Chefs, shut down that oven. We can't stop now. Protect the oven. I swear by my abdominal muscles, I will eat the ravenous snail power. I'm pricking up my buns. Something ugly this way comes. Shakespeare!
Anarchy on Pandora. Start the oven back up. Restart the oven. Serve lukewarm food. Robot!
1,000 nuclear bombs! My mouth is watering so much you could drown a small village in my cheeks! The taste apocalypse is upon us! If you kill that gobbler, Torg, it'll be your last meal. The board of directors and I can guarantee that. You know why we made the gobbler invincible, Torg? So you could kill him. After dozens of failed attempts by other contestants, you were supposed to finally kill it on camera while wielding our most expensive guns. You would have looked like a hero. Why be a hero when you could eat one? You are the dumbest person in the world. I've paid several other contestants to kill you if the gobbler can't, Vault Hunter. You and Torg will pay for your idiocy. Here comes the ravenous Waddle Gobbler! We've replaced this creature's normal food with poison! Let's see if he notices! He took the bait! Now just don't die until the poison takes effect! Waddle Gobbler!
Stop now!
Don't shoot the gobbler! Shoot the Vault Hunter! The poison's weapon! The gobbler is killable! Let the taste apocalypse begin! This is your last chance, Torg. Call this off, or you're out of the company! I'll just
It will hurt!
box so you blow things up! I'm gonna
Robot one!
out of this thing! Napkins may or may not be involved! You just disobeyed a direct order from your president, Torg. You're dead. I am so scared! I know you can't tell because of the tone of my voice, but that was sarcastic! Anyway, come on back whenever, Vault Hunter!
Not bad!
My grandma's a pretty big fan of yours. Did you go say hi to her?
Oh man, it's the Vault Hunter! You are awesome! Didn't you fight Terramorphous? I fought a big creature like that once. He was a big whale squid with 100 tentacles. You ever fought anything with tentacles? Oh, of course you have. Terramorphous had tentacles. How silly of me. Now, where was
I am so sorry.
I? All right, the whale creature. His name was Blowhole the Apocalypse. I called him Apocalypse for short. And he attacked my hometown of Tsunami's Edge when I was but a little girl. You ever been to Tsunami's Edge? Great town, nice beaches, great food, and the cost of living is just so low. Even being a single grandmother and working part-time in a scat meat processing factory, I was still able to provide for little Mr. Torg. We may not have been able to afford the finer things in life, like food, but we got by. After all, Mr. Torg and I didn't have anything to one another after that horrible gas leak blew up the iridium mine, killing my son and his lovely wife. From that day onward, my little Mr. Torg vowed to conquer explosions themselves in an effort to avenge his fallen parents. And oh man, I forgot what I was talking about. Where was? Oh right, the Blowhole the Apocalypse. So anyway, I was wrestling Blowhole to the ground, and I had my bicep curled around his blueberry throat. Blueberry? Sorry, I meant to say blubbery. I've got blueberries on the brain, I guess. I grow them in my backyard. Mr. Torg helped me plant them. Thanks again for that, grandson.
I love you, Grandma!
Anyway, I have my bicep around his blubbery throat, and Mr. Torg starts crying because he really likes whale squids, and he doesn't want to see me hurt one.
They are the princes of the ocean!
So I let the whale go after giving it a punch in the eyeball so he'll remember me, and it swam away into the ocean. And then I had Mr. Torg drive me to the ice cream parlor. He got me Rocky Road, because Rocky Road's my favorite. I'm extremely partial to the way the marshmallows act like little landmines of flavor amidst the battleground of chocolate. What's your favorite flavor of ice cream? Is it pistachio? I bet it's pistachio. Oh, that reminds me! You'll never guess who I saw today. Pistachio the Amazing! He's a magician who studied under Crazy Earl, so he's got that weird mustache, you know, but I saw him make a rack hive disappear. A whole rack hive! I said to Mr. Torg, Mr. Torg, wasn't that amazing? And he said, yes, it was, Grandma. Didn't you say that, High Five? You remember saying that?
I remember, Grandma!
And we stood in line afterward and got his autograph, and I thought I had it somewhere around here, but it's probably in the attic. I really gotta go up there and clean it out one of these days. I have so many little keepsakes up there. You're paying attention, right? Say, what's my favorite flavor of ice cream? Oh, so you are listening, how wonderful. You're an even better listener than my old pet rack, Beasto. Beasto was such a sweetie. You ever had a pet rack? If you can tame them, they are the sweetest pet you'll ever have. He used to just sit on my shoulder and bite chunks of flesh out of my neck to pass the time. I still remember the way he used to tweet. He went, wait, wait. It was so cute. I had a conversation with him once. I said, Mr. Beasto, he liked being called Mr. Beasto, you're like an aristocrat. I said, Mr. Beasto, you're looking very cute today. And he said, oh, thank you, that's so nice. Or he tweeted in a way that made me know that's how he felt. And then he lowered his little head like he was taking a bow. It was adorable. Beasto was my third pet rack. First I had Woody. He got hit by a train. Then I had Anita. She got shot up trying to take vengeance on the train that killed Woody. And then I found Beasto making little poops on the windmill outside our house. After Mr. Torg and I wrestled her to the ground, I did a flying pile driver off a nearby tower tree. Got him straight in the spine and brought him down. We brought him in and fed him some skag steaks until he decided he loved us. I still miss Beasto sometimes. He just died of old age. Racks don't live much longer than a few years, but I treasured the time we had together. Oh, poor Mr. Torg. When Beasto died, he cried for a week. The kids made fun of him in school, but I told him not to pay them any mind.
Being in touch with your emotions is not a character flaw!
That's right, High Five. Is something wrong? You look confused, Vault Hunter. Oh, you probably haven't heard anyone call Mr. Torg High Five before. The world may know him as Mr. Torg, but the Flexingtons always referred to him using his middle name. It's a Flexington family tradition, after all, to use your grandfather or grandmother's name as your own middle name. And my husband, High Five Flexington, God rest his soul, was the best grandfather Mr. Torg could have asked for before he passed. He taught Mr. Torg dang near everything he knew about firearms. Without High Five's teachings, I don't think the Torg Corporation would exist at all. Gosh, I still remember the first gun Mr. Torg tried to make after his parents died. A Jacobs shotgun with a stick of dynamite attached to the barrel. Torg nearly blew his face off, but he got up, dusted his mustache off, and swore that by the time he reached the age of 11, he would make a gun that fired explosions without killing the operator. And by golly, he did! It took a couple of dozen prototypes before he got the right combination of gun parts and explosives right, but once he did, woo-wee! I'll never forget the plume of smoke that used to be my neighbor's homestead. They were jerks though, so it's okay. Gosh, I've been talking your ear off for some time, haven't I? It's so kind of you to listen for this long. I've taken up too much of your time already. Please don't feel like you have to stick around any longer. As a matter of fact, take this for giving this old woman some company. Woo! You're even more attractive than Mr. Torg said you were. I've got another story for you, but I'd like... I want it to all of your friends at once. An old lady like me has to save her voice, you know. Oh, you still want to talk with me? How incredibly sweet of you. Say, you'll never guess who I saw today. Captain Scarlet. She was robbing my retirement home with a few other brigands, and I recognized her from her wanted poster, and I said, "Oh, hey, you fought the Vault Hunter, didn't you?" And she bowed all elegantly and said something like, "Indeed I did, madam," and said that you were really good at fighting, and that you beat her fair and square. She didn't seem to harbor much of a grudge about it. Nice girl. You should think about meeting up with her again if you're not shacked up with anybody, you know? I mean, of course you probably are. Gorgeous hunk of a Vault Hunter like you. I bet you're beating away suitors left and right. Look, you're blushing. Oh, I could just eat you up. Mr. Torg was so scared of trying to get a date for such a long time. He used to go to parties in high school and just stand in the back without talking to anybody.
I am an introvert!
I tried to tell him, I said, don't worry about chasing love. If you chase your dreams, then love will follow. See, that's the thing people don't get. You watch Echo films and they're just awful. They teach you that the only way to be with someone is just to pursue them over and over until they decide they like you. In reality, you know when you like someone almost immediately. You can't really convince somebody to fall in love with you. You just look like a stalker. But if you do things that you're interested in, like making guns that explode or killing mercenaries, then people will see that confidence and skill you have and they'll be attracted to it. But there's always a fine line between that kind of confidence and narcissism, you know? There's nothing worse than somebody who wants to be famous. I remember when Mr. Torg first sold his weapons tech to that board of directors, he was pretty egocentric for a while. Taking pictures of himself and posting them to the EchoNet all the time. Trying to hobnob with every celebrity that used his weapons. He came back home one day with a supermodel under each arm and I said, "Mr. Torg, what are you doing? You've lost sight of who you are. It's been weeks since you actually created a new gun," I said. And it was true. He'd been more obsessed with being well known for doing something great than with actually doing something great.
It was a dark point in my life.
Thankfully, High Five listened to me and got to work on what would eventually become the Kerblaster. You a fan of the Kerblaster? That was always my favorite. That and the Flacker, which I know a lot of people hate. But there's more to combat than just brute efficiency in this old lady's eyes. Style counts for something. And there's nothing quite like filling the air with tiny little explosions. It's like a fireworks show, except the deaths aren't as sad and unexpected. Actually, that reminds me, now that you're here, I wanted to throw some ideas at you for feedback. I'm a playwright in my spare time, and I'm trying to write a story about an up-and-coming tournament fighter who tries to find love in a gladiatorial arena. And I figure you've got a lot of experience, so your feedback could really be valuable. So the play is called Broken Hearts and Broken Necks. Scene 1. Fade in on an arena, just after a battle. Body parts litter the stage. A lone warrior stands in the middle of the stage, a spotlight illuminating her blood-stained arm. She stands, holding her sword triumphantly aloft. Valkyrie. Is there no warrior who can challenge me? Must I be destined to spend my life as the strongest, the bravest, the most invincible warrior this galaxy has seen? For I am Valkyrie! Scourge of the gladiatorial games! Exeunt Valkyrie, as she shakes her head in despair. From stage left enter Nodo, a janitor with a heavy heart and an even heavier conscience. He begins sweeping the body parts into a bin, which is colored green, and remember that because that's a symbolic color that will come back, until melancholy overtakes him. He drops his push broom to the floor and falls to his knees before delivering a heart-wrenching soliloquy. No. The blood cannot be washed away. Not before and not now. Even as I attempt to escape the past, which haunts me still. Must I live forever as a fraud, sweeping up the trash of others to hide my shame and avoid my pursuers? Must I forever remain on the periphery of joyful combat? Ever watchful but never participating? Then, with a clatter of armor, Valkyrie re-enters on stage right. Valkyrie. Good morrow, lowly janitor. I heard a noise and thought it worth investigating. Nodar. Oh, great Valkyrie, 'Twas nothing but the wails of those souls you released from their bodies tonight. Souls that wail in agony as they fly upward to Valhalla. Fools! What have they to wail about? Their agonies are over, ended at the point of my sword. Mine, however, have only yet begun. For it is lonely at the top, and an unchallenged life is a boring one. No done, aside. If only I were able to tell her my true identity, I would give her a fight she would not soon forget. Back to Valkyrie. Yes, ma'am, boredom is the true tragedy. May you one day find challenge in combat. Stupid. Nodon picks up a giant two-armed bastard sword with almost no effort. Valkyrie aside. What is this? Boom, stay swift. Valkyrie. What strength this janitor possessed? Who is he to pick up a bastard sword with two fingers? What hidden power does he hold? What secrets does he keep? I will endeavor to uncover his past, in the hopes that our swords may cross in battle! Exeunt. End of scene 1. Scene 2. The interior of the governor's house. The table is set with myriad teas and biscuits. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't even ask you for the feedback on the first scene. Did you like it? Oh, wonderful. I'll continue then. Scene 2. The governess enters from stage left. Governess. I refuse to respond to these absurd accusations. Her husband looks at her quizzically. Governor. And what accusations may those be? Governess. Actually, you know what? I don't think I'm ready to get feedback on the play yet. But what about you? What are you up to? Tell Grandma Flexington all about it. I bet you've had some amazing adventures. Mr. Torg told me about the time you all played bunkers and badasses together. He said it was one of the most fun and welcoming experiences of his life.
Grandpa! You're embarrassing me!
Sorry, sweetie, but really, you and the Vault Hunters are his first real pals. It wasn't easy for Mr. Torg to make friends at school when he had facial hair at age 8, pecs at 8.5, and dead parents by age 9. People found him intimidating. But I told him that he should be thankful for the fact that he looks different. Anyone who wouldn't be friends with you based on appearance wouldn't be a very good friend anyway. But he really does like hanging out with all of you. Most people these days want Torg to pose for pictures or blow something up by flexing at it. It's not often he gets to sit down and play games with people. Oh, speaking of games, did you play Going Back to the House yet? It's a new echo simulation about exploring a log cabin you lived in when you were a kid. There's no violence or anything. You just walk around looking at cereal boxes and remembering people you made out with. I really like where Echo Sims have gone in the past few years, don't you? There seem to be a lot more of them with interesting things to do beyond shooting people, and the writing has gotten so tight and concise. For instance, did you ever play The Samurai's Marker? The whole game's story was delivered through haiku. Did Zero write it or something? No, I'm just joshing. I know you're too busy for that. But oh yeah, I was playing at the end of the pointed gun last night on my Echo Sim player, and wow, is that funny. It's about a guy who punches people and smacks himself in the face with doors. Easily one of the best punch-related comedy sims ever. But oh, I'm really looking forward to this game called Robot Hunter Assault Squadron, which is this big randomized survival game about throwing bottles at trees and accidentally scaring birds. In the demo version, I scared a bird so hard it died. 10 out of 10 in my book. But what kind of things do you do for fun? You play any sports? You look like you might be into some of the more extreme stuff, like spine hurdling or psycho head volleyball. I knew an athlete a lot like you when I was younger. Her name was Nijo, and she was especially gifted at the giblet toss. That's an old pastime we had back when I was younger. Idea was you punch a convict, and then see how far you could make their viscera fly across a big field. You got points based on distance and the size of the viscera. She won the final round of the giblet toss championship by getting a left eyeball to cross the 300-meter mark. They said she was juicing with iridium, but I think they were just angry that she dethroned the reigning champ, misogynistic Jeff. People really liked him for some reason. Hey, what's your favorite food? Mine's burgers, personally. People look at you like you're a pleb or something when you say you like burgers, but just think of all the things you can do with them. You can change out the patty, play around with the toppings, change what sides you have. You ever have a burger with veggie chips? Gosh, I all but forgot about fries for about a year after I discovered the veggie chip combo. And I'm not a vegetarian or anything, but those veggie patties they make on the more upper class worlds are crazy good. Better than real meat if you cook it right. Mr. Torg tried to be vegetarian once after he saw a fluff bear get run over by a truck. How long do you last again?
12 seconds!
Barely even finished the word vegetarian before he lunged at a skag chew I was holding in my left hand. Nearly lost a finger. Granted, he's always been partial to skag chews or skag bacon. Don't know why, since I always felt like skags tasted like old tires and vomit. But to each his own. Taste is a funny thing. People say your taste buds get more refined as time goes on, but they actually get worse and worse. So when Mr. Torg used to refuse vegetables as a kid, it's because he was actually tasting how awful they were. When we old folks eat vegetables, we're only okay with it because we can't taste all the gross vitamins and stuff. Granted, vitamins are what have kept me going for as long as I've been going. You get enough B12 in your system and you can headbutt a freight train without so much as a bruise. That reminds me, I need to get my pills ready for the rest of the week. I have one of those little metal containers split into different sections for each day. It's really helpful. And the sides are sharp enough that I can use it to ward off burglars if I need to. What else do I have to do this week? Probably head to the bazaar, pick up some frozen spider and flanks. Gotta bring my coat though, because it gets kind of chilly in the freezer section. What else do I need? I need Schwartzman's candy drops. Gosh, those are delicious. They're so smooth and sweet. Just thinking about them, I could go for one right now, couldn't you? Do you think you could go find me one?
Look at all that! You can still run!
I've got a hole full of meat.
Schwartzman candy drop. Grab it for me, will ya? Oh, I can taste it already. Oh, wonderful. Bring it back here and I'll finish my story. Thank you so much! I'll eat this later while sitting by the fireplace telling Mr. Torg stories of days gone by. There's just nothing like a good roaring fireplace, is there? Something healing and safe. Maybe that's why our family likes explosions so much. They're basically just big fireplaces. Every explosion feels just like coming home. Oh, maybe that'd be a good slogan for the Torg Corporation. Don't you think, High Five? Oh, don't be silly. It's a wonderful slogan and you know it. I used to come up with slogans for a living when I was in my teens. I came up with the jingle for Professor Gunsight's Can't Miss Scopes. How'd it go again? Oh yeah! If you try to shoot but you miss a lot, then give Professor Gun-Size Scopes a shot. Ha! And then they played a gunshot sound effect and someone going, ah! It was cute. But gosh, I've been talking for a while now, haven't I? Thanks for bringing your friends to listen to an old woman ramble for a while. I can't tell you how great it is to have somebody new to talk to, especially a vault hunter. Oh, and one more thing! No, actually, that can probably wait. Just something about vaults and the end of the universe. Anyway, here. I always spoil my friends, just like I spoiled my grandson. Enjoy it! Conversation! Ow!
Welcome to Hallowed Hollow, the only community for Pandora's exiled and retired undead. I'm the town's lookout, TK Baja. Why don't you come on and find me, would you? Just follow the sound of the blind redneck zombie's voice.
Lately, a real sourpuss named the Pumpkin Kingpin's been hassling the townsfolk. They're so scared these days, they won't even step out. Why don't you get out there and give them the old 1-2 for me?
Nice! Bada! Exterminate!
Horseradish. The Kingpin must have cast a locking spell on this gate. You're gonna need an enchanted skeleton key. Why don't you dig up some graves and let's find ourselves some enchanted bones, you hear?
Right on, robot!
That looks like an enchanted skeleton right there. Why don't you give him a wallop, and you should be a step or two closer to making a skeleton key.
Best robot ever!
That's one of the enchanted bones you'll need. Once you find the others and make the key, you'll be able to go toe-to-toe with the Pumpkin Kingpin himself. Yeehaw! Found another enchanted skeleton. I haven't been this happy since that time I got killed.
I got a team on my back! Let's get it on!
Only one more bone piece left, and then you can make yourself a skeleton key. Dropping quicker than an uncomfortable subject at a family dinner. All right. Now that you got all the enchanted bones, why don't you head to the blacksmith's and forge yourself a skeleton key? While you're there, tell Sully the blacksmith that I said hi. don't you ask him for his hammer, would you? I'm sure he'll hand it over if you ask him nicely.
I actually hit something!
You're gonna need the blacksmith's hammer to make the key. Now, where could he be? Sully? Sounds like you two are done talking, huh? All right. Now, smack those bones together and forge yourself a skeleton key. Got the key, you can find the Pumpkin Kingpin's lair and make the rivers run orange with pumpkin guts. This is definitely where the Pumpkin Kingpin lives.
Go!
He ain't here. Must be sleeping underground or something. Oh! I bet if he fled the area, he'd probably have to come up for air. Go on and head to the windmill. Windmill ain't working, is it? Those abominations there were made by good old Dr. Zed. Speaking of which, have you seen Zed? Hey, lately? What about Ted? Oh, wait. There's something we're supposed to talk about the forbidden brother. My bad.
I have like negative accuracy right now!
Not worry about the afterlife, I'm hearing customers.
Spikos and Scrag tell legends of the creature who kicked him out of the Iridium Blight. Said there was a real big, small or normal-sized man or woman, and that there was 1 to 4 of them. Legends are pretty big.
Anarchy on Pandora. Stack 'em and back. Rain on my shoes. I like it. This is getting ridiculous.
Windmill's going, so the blood's pumping, and everything's ready for a final showdown with the Pumpkin Kingpin. Whenever you're ready, just head back to the Kingpin's domicile. That windmill powers our hemoglobin pumps. Got a few vampires in town, and, well, they make milkshakes out of blood. I had one once. It was all right.
Badass bastard! Hell with the first ball! I know, I'm so bad at this. So many steps! And I like it! I feel cosmos! I'm bringer of death! Attaboy! I'm going wildly insane!
All right. Hallowed Hollow is safe once again. Come on back for your reward whenever you want, old pal.
Thanks for coming on by, stranger. Don't see too many. As payment for my watchfulness, I asked the townfolk. My favorite candy, sugary brain bites. I ain't been able to collect any though since my zombie polio started acting up again. Could you make the rounds for me and maybe bring me back as much brain-flavored candy as you can? Sweet baby gums. I've been trying to wean myself off actual brains for a while now. And those candies there sure do the trick, don't they? Why don't you get me some more, would you? Sugary brain bites got all the taste of brains without all the hassle of chasing and murdering and looking at your bloody hands screaming, "Oh God, what have I become?"
all dead!
Being the lookout for this cow might be born a sin, but that there candy makes the whole deal worthwhile. Yeehaw! Sugary brain bites.
Aw, man, learn the controller.
Hey, you got enough candy to keep me on a gray matter sugar high for months. Why don't you come on back?
Thanks a bunches. Before I eat all these, I'll squish them together into a big lump and pretend it's the brain of somebody I don't like.
Nah, who am I kidding? There ain't nobody I don't like. They're all delicious.